my husband secretly drained our entire honeymoon fund. He spent it on a dog, and now he's calling me a heartless monster for walking out. I'm a 27-year-old woman, sitting in a cheap motel room. I only have a carry-on bag and a shattered heart. For 2 years, my 29-year-old husband, Mark, and I sacrificed everything. We ate rice and beans. We skipped date nights. We worked overtime. All to save for our dream trip to the Maldives. We had $9,200 saved. It was our delayed honeymoon. We couldn't afford one after the wedding. Yesterday was flight day. I was zipping up my suitcase, holding my sun hat, when Mark walked in. He was pale as a ghost. I asked if he called the Uber. He sat on the bed, put his head in his hands, and whispered, "We can't go." I thought he was joking. Then he opened his banking app and showed me the screen. The savings account balance was $42. I screamed. I actually screamed. He started crying, explaining that his mom's 14-year-old boxer, Duke, needed emergency spinal surgery. His mom is on a fixed income. She couldn't afford the $8,800 bill. Mark authorized the transfer without telling me. He said he did it because he knew I'd try to talk him out of it with logic. But that's not even the worst part. The vet said Duke has maybe 6 months left, even with the surgery. He spent our entire honeymoon, 2 years of sacrifice, on a dog. That is literally at the very end of its life. When I told him this was financial infidelity, that he stole from me, he snapped. He looked me dead in the eye and said, "I didn't know I married someone who puts a tan above a family member's life. Money comes back, Sarah. Duke doesn't." I grabbed my bag and left. I couldn't even look at him. Now his mom is texting me, calling me selfish. He's posting sad photos of the dog recovering on Facebook, with the caption, "Worth every penny." I feel like I've been robbed, but everyone is making me feel like Cruella de Vil. Am I wrong for thinking our marriage and our future mattered more than his mom's elderly dog? Did I overreact, or is he completely in the wrong? Let me know what you think. I destroyed my fiancé's dream wedding, all for Instagram. I watched my fiancé cry last night. It was over a system error that I deliberately caused, and I don't know if I can ever tell him the truth. I'm a 26-year-old woman. My fiancé, Mark, is 30. We're getting married in Tulum next month. It's been my dream since I was 12, boho chic, sunset vows, the works. Mark is paying for about 60% of it. His one condition was that his extended family had to be there. Specifically, his Aunt Linda. She raised him after his mom died. The resort is boutique and strictly limited. We had a hard block of 50 rooms. Last week, 5 of my college friends finally said they could come. They're actual micro-influencers with a combined following of 300,000. The problem, the room block was full. Mark's cousins and Aunt Linda had taken the last spots 2 months ago. I panicked. I looked at the guest list, and I hate to say this, but Aunt Linda isn't exactly aesthetic. She's loud. She would be in a wheelchair, which complicates the beach photos. And honestly, she clashes with the vibe I curated. So I did something unforgivable. I logged into the wedding portal using Mark's password. I canceled Aunt Linda's and his cousin's reservations and immediately texted my girls the booking link. They snapped up the rooms within 10 minutes. When Aunt Linda called Mark yesterday sobbing that the hotel emailed her a cancellation notice, I pretended to be shocked. Mark called the hotel, screaming at the manager. The manager correctly stated that the rooms were rebooked by new guests instantly. There's physically no space left. Mark is devastated. He sat on the edge of the bed and said, "I can't get married without Linda. She's basically my mother. We have to change venues." He's talking about losing our $15,000 non-refundable deposit to move to a generic chain resort down the road just to fit her in. My friends have already booked flights and are posting about it. If I tell him the truth, the wedding is definitely off. If I don't, I force him to lose $15,000 and marry me without the woman who raised him. Is it wrong that I'm still considering letting him believe it was a computer glitch just to save the venue? Did I overreact, or is he being unreasonable? Let me know what you think. I canceled my stepmom's flight to Greece, 48 hours before takeoff. You won't believe why. Am I the a-hole? I'm a 25-year-old woman. My stepmom is 46 and my dad is 52. 3 years ago, my biomom passed away from cancer. She left me a trust fund, $50,000. There was a handwritten note, "Take your father to Santorini." We never made it. It took me years to be ready, but I finally planned the trip. I booked a luxury villa and flights for me and my dad for next week. My stepmom, Brenda, immediately inserted herself. She said it was weird for a grown woman to vacation alone with her father. She needed to come to balance the dynamic. My dad is terrified of conflict. He begged me to let her come. I felt sick using mom's money for the woman who moved in 4 months after the funeral, but I agreed. I bought her an economy ticket to keep the peace. I told her explicitly, "I am paying for your flight and room. Any extras are on you." The incident happened yesterday while I was at work. I got a fraud alert on my phone, a $3,800 charge from the airline. I called the airline immediately. Brenda had called customer service, impersonating me. We have the same last name. She upgraded herself and my dad to business class because she can't do 10 hours in cattle class with her sciatica. I saw red. I didn't just reverse the upgrade. I canceled her ticket entirely. When she saw the cancellation, she went ballistic. She stormed into my apartment and screamed that I was a vindictive brat hoarding family assets. Then she said something I can't forgive. "Your mother is dead and she's not coming back. I'm here. You need to pay for the living." That broke me. I told Dad he has 2 choices: get on the plane with me to honor Mom's dying wish, or stay home with his wife. He's currently blowing up my phone saying I went nuclear over a simple upgrade and that I'm humiliating him. He says if I don't rebook her, he's not going. The flight leaves in 36 hours and I haven't packed, so am I the a-hole? Did I overreact, or is my dad being unreasonable? Let me know what you think. My mother-in-law started measuring for curtains at my father's wake, but that's not even the worst part. I'm a 26-year-old woman. I buried my father 4 days ago. It was sudden and devastating. I'm barely functioning. My dad left me his estate. The best part is a fully paid-off 1920s craftsman home. It's in a high-cost-of-living area. It's easily worth $650,000. My husband, Mark, is 30. He's been supportive, or so I thought, until his mother, Brenda, got involved. Brenda is 58. She's been terrible with money her whole life. She rents a small apartment and has 0 retirement savings. Yesterday, Mark suggested we go to my dad's house. He said we should check on the pipes and water the plants. He invited Brenda along for emotional support. As soon as we walked in, the vibe shifted. I was crying in the hallway. It still smells like my dad's cologne. Brenda, however, walked straight past me into the master bedroom. I followed her. I found her holding up her phone, using the Measure app on the walls. She turned to me, beaming. She said, "The lighting in here is perfect for my vanity. We'll just need to rip out this blue carpet immediately. It triggers my allergies." I froze. I said, "Excuse me." Mark walked in, looking at the floor. "Babe, we talked about this. Mom's lease is up in 6 weeks. It doesn't make sense for her to renew when we have this massive, empty property just sitting here. It's a waste of assets." They had discussed this, without me, while I was planning a funeral. I told Brenda to put her phone away and get out. She immediately burst into tears. She wailed that she's family. She said my dad would have wanted the house to be filled with life, not collecting dust. Mark stepped in and told me I was being hysterical and cruel. He said, "You just inherited a fortune, and you're going to let my mother be homeless? That's financial abuse." She is not homeless. She has a job and an apartment. I kicked them both out of the house. I changed the locks an hour ago. Mark has been blowing up my phone. He says I'm legally required to consult him because we're married. We have no prenup, but inheritance is separate property in my state. He says I need to apologize to Brenda and give her a key by Friday, or he's staying at her place indefinitely. I feel like I'm going crazy. Am I wrong for not wanting my mother-in-law living in my dead father's sanctuary, less than a week after he died? Did I overreact, or is my husband completely out of line? Let me know what you think.